2, 3. All right, here we go. Here we go. Okay, microphone plugged in. Okay. Microphone issues. Okay, small microphone issues. Oh, there's Timmer. Timmer, first of all, can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testes 1, 2. Can you hear me? Somebody say hello if you can hear me. And hello, Timmer. Okay, yes, okay, all right, good. Sorry, minor microphone issues. We're all right now. And Timmer, I was just talking about you before I plugged in my microphone that I forgot to share the new video. Even though I watched it, I forgot to share it this morning, so I'll give it a little like there on Twitter, and I'll give it a little retweet there on Twitter. And there you go. Hello, everyone. Okay, yeah, sorry about the minor microphone issues that we had there, but looks like all is well now. Maybe with a few more years of experience, I will figure out how to get these live streams to work smoothly. So, all right, cool. And Timber is here. That's awesome. We have a Joe Leberty in our presence. Hi, Beta Ray Bob. Matt Rubin, David Sharp, Marcel. I'm missing some people. You guys are... Hey, everybody's here. Awesome. Beach 76. Curtis. Zakovan 75. Well, it's okay if you miss a few. I'm just glad to have you back. Hi, Mark and Doug. Good evening, everyone. And there's Sparkster. Hello, Sparkster. Brandon Knight, nice to see you. Marcel. Yeah, yes, Timmer is here. So now we all have to behave ourselves. Hi, Rezakai. 3 of the 4 seconds of silence. Nice. Yeah, we had a little bit of silence because I forgot to plug in my microphone. And then when I plugged in my microphone, I then unplugged it from the other end. But it's working now. Hi, Justin Luby. How do you do? Jock Hard Iron. I'm glad you liked that. Hi, Jeremy. Yeah, so I hope everybody enjoyed the review on Sunday. I had a lot of fun making that. I know some folks have said I should have saved it for the Super Bowl or something like that, but I don't know. Sometimes I do like themed videos for special occasions, but I don't do that a lot. So I don't know. I don't know that I would have saved it for the Super Bowl in any case, but hey, that's what the patrons voted for. Timmer is on vacation this week. Don't have to go in the morning. Another vacation. Must be nice living in Europe. Brandon wants to know how many times Susan had to be spanked, and will she want revenge? Well, I can't reveal how many times, but, we had to do a lot of takes. That was one continuous take, right? With no cuts in that scene. It was one continuous take. Every time we messed up, we'd have to start over. Kept a straight face. Timmer works in the family shop. What are you doing in my family shop, Timmer? I'm just kidding. I know what you mean. I am not from New England. Susan's family is from New England. And at the end of that video, Susan's sister was in that video too. So my father-in-law is a Patriots fan. So that's pretty good motivation for me. I've been to New England. I like New England. Hello, Marvel in DC. Oh, looks like Sparkster wished Mark a happy early birthday. Well, I don't want to miss it, so happy early birthday from me as well. Car audio stores are close to like living in Paris. I don't know. I can't confirm that. Hello, Rob M. And there's Green Yeti. How do you do? Crimson Entertainment, formerly known as CBGB. All right, the gang's all here. This is awesome. Now, I have to be truthful to you guys. I don't have a lot to talk about right now, mainly because I am kind of exhausted. The video that's going up on Sunday, which I just finished, was a very difficult one to complete. Hi, Grimlock G1. Hello. Which part of New England was I? I was in Boston and Foxborough. That area. But I'm not from there. Kenneth gives us the Cobra Launch battle cry. Yeah, the video that I just finished, sometimes they just don't want to go. You know, some videos just seem to flow. They almost, they almost do themselves. You know, it's very easy. You know what you're going to say. You know how you want to say it. There's plenty of cool stuff to say about it. But then other videos just seem to be cursed and just seem to continually have problems and just don't want to be done. They just never want to be finished. Jeremy's in Clinton, Mass. Cool. Mark posted a video on Falcon today. Well, I'll have to try to check it out. I have not watched a lot today. I actually watched Timmer's new video in early access because I'm a patron. So if you're on Patreon, you can do that. Justin says, when will we see a review of the Mud Fighter? Only one I've seen, and it doesn't have... Yeah. I'm not sure. We have spent a lot of time in the 80s this last month or so. All of Cobra Convergence was all 80s stuff. And we got to kind of pay the piper a little bit by reviewing some things from the 90s. So I'm going to have to stay in the 90s for a little while. But it'll be nice to get back to the 80s and to get to the Mud Fighter hopefully soon-ish. But I gotta get through some 80s stuff. It's my penance. I've gotta pay the piper. Timmer says, like, doing a dozen takes just to say a single bloody line. Yeah. Video production can be great. Yeah, it's tough. You see, this is why I like talking with Timmer and, other YouTubers sometimes, because they understand the angst of trying to put together a video. This one that's coming up on Sunday, of course, I had issues. I always have issues with just trying to get words to come out of my mouth properly and to say the right things. But there were all kinds of other issues with the toy that I'm reviewing, and I can't tell you what it is yet. It's a surprise, as it always is. But there were issues with the toy, and yeah, it was the toy itself made the review really difficult. Justin, yeah, if you want to get the file card to me, that's fine. Of course, you don't have to. I would I would find the file card for myself if you didn't. But yeah, I won't be able to get to the Mud Fighter right away. I gotta do some 90s. We're gonna be in the 90s, guys. The General came out in 1990, Borderline. Yeah, but of course, 90 is still the 90s. Someone was asking about the General. That's one way that I've been able to make really nice videos about 90s toys. The actual year 1990 wasn't too bad and actually had a lot of good stuff in it. But if I review things from 1990, then I can have like lots of great 90s reviews that are all positive. But that's maybe not representative of the decade. And by God, we have a lot of 1993 to still get to. I feel like I've missed some things. Oh yeah, Peter Ang, the new spin-off G.I. Joe movie based on Chuckles. Again, I don't know if that's like for real or if it's a rumor. I'm waiting to hear something like truly official before I believe it. Hello, Mike Lopez. What is something I'm not looking forward to reviewing? Oh, I can tell you the vehicle... I'm sorry, okay, I gave it away. The vehicle that I am reviewing coming up this Sunday was something I was not looking forward to reviewing. And it turned out for very good reason because it sucked a lot. But what am I really not looking forward... Oh, I am not looking forward to reviewing the Pogo and the Pogo offspring, the Invader from Star Brigade. Those toys really frustrate me. Just handling them is really frustrating. Let's see. Chuckles. More on the Chuckles movie. A few years ago, Gary Busey would have been great. Yeah, Gary Busey. That would have been interesting. Now, I'm not saying that I'm against the idea of a Chuckles movie. Yes, I did see Michael French's video about the Chuckles movie. At least the proposed Chuckles movie. I'm not opposed to the idea. I just want them to just make one, make one good one, and then build on that. We need to get we need to get over that hump before we start planning our cinematic universe. Sparkster with the Pogo and the Invader, I don't know. Yeah. But, I mean, there was that comic book series that focused on Chuckles a few years ago, and that seemed to get some acclaim. So they may be thinking along those lines, which, I don't know, maybe. I mean, I thought I liked the series well enough. I don't think I liked it as much as a lot of other people did. I felt the series was perhaps overly cynical. But, I mean, the writing and the art definitely were good. There's no question about that. It just wasn't entirely to my taste, although lots of other people seem to like it. So they may be thinking along those lines. I don't know. Yeah, the series where he murdered Jinx. That's the one. So, but we'll see. We'll see. And you guys are typing a lot faster than I can read. Sorry. I am just as an extension of talking about how difficult the next review was to complete. I'm really tired. I feel exhausted, and I've been trying to get the next review ready, and it feels like that the difficulty of doing the one has carried over to the other, and I just seem to be having a hard time getting the next one written. It's been a tough couple of weeks, and it's not due to anything really bad happening. I mean, work is going fine, the channel is going fine, but there's just this one really frustrating video has made it kind of a difficult couple weeks. Time for a little break. It's ironic you should say that. I would like to take a break, but it's been too recently since I've taken a break, so I can't really take a week off right now. But I'll try to schedule some downtime. What you need is a Cobra energy drink. That would keep me going, and considering Cobra's nefarious plans, it may also turn me into a zombie. Who knows? So, Oh, Green Yeti has work tomorrow. Well, good on having a job. I also have work tomorrow. What videos have been the toughest to shoot technical-wise, not from choice/taste? All of the big ones, like the videos that are at the beginning of the year, that's always like some really big vehicle or playset. Those are always difficult to shoot because I can never get a background that's big enough, so I'm always like getting part of my wall in the background. It's hard to get a good camera angle where it gets the whole thing in frame. You got a lot of moving things around. Just the size of those big reviews, like the big vehicles and playsets, makes it technically really difficult. Because not only do you have to move it and move your camera around, then you have to adjust your lighting. So the lighting has to move as the camera moves, and then you got to think about like where your microphone is, when I'm spewing my nonsense. Yeah, those big ones, just the size of them makes it takes an extra week. It takes like 2 weeks to do those. Need chocolate donuts and grape soda to get me through those difficult videos. That sounds lovely. Timmer says, to say nothing of Cobra Convergence with the costumes and coordination and all. Cobra Convergence is always more work, but I really appreciate Timmer kind of taking charge of the storyline stuff. That was really Timmer's creation. And I couldn't have done it. There would have been no way that I could have done all of that myself. So I really appreciate him kind of taking the lead on that and really taking over and doing that. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing my part, but it was really nice to be able to do my part without having to do all the planning and writing and stuff. Travis, thank you very much. And Green Yeti is working on his next review. Better than orange juice and chocolate. That sounds not so good. Any top 10 90s figures possible? Maybe. I haven't done a lot of top 10 lists. I mean, I can do top 10 lists, but I have a hard time deciding what should be in the top 10 list, and then I change my mind a lot. But I think I could easily pick 10 good figures from the 90s. There was good stuff from the 90s for real. There really was. But then there was also like all the neon, which again, a lot of people like that stuff, and they should. If you like that, if that's what you grew up with, that's great. That's just not my preference. So, but we have to review a lot of that. My project on this channel is to review everything from 82 to 94, and there's a bunch of the stuff from the 90s, especially 1993, that we haven't gotten to yet. Travis says, who's your favorite Cobra member? Well, I'm partial to Cobra Commander in the hooded form, but Zartan is good too. Excuse me, I like Zartan, but you know what? I think Destro is such a strong character. But see, now that I say Destro, I start thinking of others, because the Baroness is a very strong character too. See, this is why I can't really do top 10 lists. A guy asked me just to pick one favorite, and I have a hard time picking one favorite. Because every time I think, okay, that one's my favorite, then I start considering the others. James says Destro is his favorite. Destro is a great one. Destro is such a strong character, especially in the comic book. Really, in the animated series, too. They actually did a pretty good job with Destro in the animated series. But I love what Larry did with Destro. Destro is just so strong. Not physically strong, but just a well-written character. Fat Cat likes Zartan. Some really good writing for Zartan as well. Cobra says, to me, Destro has his own thing, the Iron Grenadiers. That is true. The Iron Grenadiers came around a little bit later, though. And there was a time when, even though he was sort of a mercenary, he was still, like, given command of Cobra troops. So he was in the Cobra command hierarchy. And at one point, when the imposter was, in the role of Cobra commander, Destro sort of took over and totally restructured and reorganized the Cobra organization. No love for Raptor and the Crystal Ball. Recently, in one of the groups, I saw some Ron Rudat concept art for Raptor, and that was kind of cool. Even though I don't really care for the character or the figure, it's still cool to see the process. Hello, aka Ratface. Nice to see you. Rezakai says, I apologize if it's been asked before. Are your the comic book reviews, are you in the special missions yet, or still the original Marvel run? I'm still in the original Marvel run. Special missions sort of branched off around issue 50, and we are at like issue number 23. Speaking of which, tomorrow there will be a new comic book review going up. So you will get a new comic book review. We've been like 2 months without a comic book review, so it's about time, right? So I finally got to it. So I think we're on 23 now. Issue number 23 is going up tomorrow. So hope you like it. I have this thing that I have to do now, because on a couple occasions when I've done comic book reviews, I have accidentally used more or less the same joke as Timmer in his comic book reviews. Oh, Kevin sends €10. Love your channel. Thank you for all your hard work. Greetings from Ireland. Well, greetings, Ireland, from the United States. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Ireland. There's another place I'd like to go. I gotta visit Ireland. So what I have to do now, after I've basically written the comic book review, then I have to go and watch Timmer's review to make sure that I'm not making the same comments or jokes, because I don't want to plagiarize. And it's like I don't intentionally plagiarize, but if I don't check, then it's going to look like I plagiarized because we came up with basically the same idea. So I don't want to steal anybody's stuff, even subconsciously. See, I used to think, well, if I don't watch anybody else's review, then it'll be all original, right? I won't be, influenced by their ideas. It'll be all original. It'll be all my ideas. But it hasn't turned out that way. It turns out that sometimes people have the same idea, independently. Agnetha says, watch G.I. Joe RH today. Destro seems to be his own man who hated Cobra Commander and Zartan. Speaking of Zartan, do you have a Zartan Chameleon Swamp Skier for each of your Dreadnoks? I don't. I only have one of the Chameleon Swamp Skiers for Mr. Zartan himself. That's a fiddly little vehicle. That's a very flimsy little vehicle, so I'm always concerned about breaking the thing. I do have little motorcycles for my Dreadnoks, but I don't really use them. Some jokes are pretty obvious. Well, maybe so, Timmer, but you also have an advantage that you're way, way ahead of me in the reviews. And so, like, it's a challenge for me because Timmer's reviews are quite thorough and insightful. And it makes it hard for me to think of like something original to say about it. Mindbender version 2, the Borg. Yeah. Alex says, my Dreadnoks rode ferrets. At least they would fit on the ferrets a little better. The little the little motorcycles that I got them, they don't really fit on them very well. So thanks, by the way, everyone, for keeping the live chat going, because I'm depending on you. I didn't really bring a lot to the table this evening. I've been hammering away on the review that I just finished, and then the next review, and so, I'm kind of drained. So I'm depending on you guys for conversation, and I appreciate you guys obliging. By the way, did anybody actually stay till the end of the Iron Grenadiers video? Did anybody stay for like the commercial at the end? 6 of them shared the same ferret. I'll just leave that there. I agree, Marcel. I enjoy Timmer's reviews. I never miss one. KB is waiting for Bazooka. I'm waiting for Bazooka too. Now, I want to do Bazooka, but I know that's a fairly popular character. I feel like I need to save that one. But I'd really like to get to it. That's one that, and who knows, maybe that will be a Super Bowl review. I don't know. At least he's sort of football themed with the jersey. But yeah, it's like, unless in the far distant future I decide to re-review something, once I've reviewed it, then it's done, right? That's kind of one of the downsides of my format. And so I don't want to be done with certain characters like Bazooka. Did I find the file card? I think I did. Oh, hey, I got the file cards here. Why don't I check? Hold on. Oh, let's see here. Sorry, here are my file cards. Let's see here. One moment. Let's see. There's 1985. I forgot I think I did when I did the quick shot. I didn't have the file card, but I thought I got the file card. This is why I should not rely ever on my own memory. Really, some really good characters in 1985. I can see why a lot of people like that year. Dreadnoks and Lampreys and Quick Kick and there we go. So yeah, the Bazooka is complete and ready to review. Hello, Sean. So yeah, Bazooka is complete and ready to review. It's gotta feel right. It's gotta feel like the right time. Ugh. Okay, file cards put back away. And I guess we're on Gary Busey now, so it's is that the running gag for the evening, is Gary Busey? That's a hell of a running gag, though, if it is. So, yeah, the video that I'm writing, that I haven't shot it yet, but I got to start shooting pretty soon to get it done on time, is it's a 90s item, a 90s character, and when I'm reviewing something, I try to get at the heart of it. I try to figure out what's the essence of this thing. What's the special thing about it? What's the special reason that this thing exists? And I may not always get it right, but at least try. Well, this one is one that I genuinely like. I like this item that's coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend. I really like it. But I just feel like I haven't gotten the heart of it. And I can still review it. I have plenty of notes. I have a full review of notes. But I just don't feel like I've... I don't know. I feel like there's something missing. Maybe not some piece of information, some technical detail, but just something that I'm not quite getting about it. And again, it's about a figure that I genuinely enjoy. I really, really like it. But I'm gonna keep trying. I'll see if I get some inspiration. Peter Ang likes the overkill design in Sigma 6. I cannot remember what the overkill design in Sigma 6 is, but I'm sure it's cool. Hello, Caden. Late and don't know what's going on. Well, I've been here the whole time and I have no idea what's going on. Apparently Gary Busey's taken over the live stream. He would, though, wouldn't he? That is something Gary Busey would do. Dino Hunters. Jurassic Park was coming out and Hasbro said, we gotta get us some of that. That is exactly, yes, that's exactly right. And Dino Hunters is perhaps one of the more shameless ones. Rezakai sends $10. Thank you. HCC, one of my favorite videos is your making of the ASP long run. Yeah. Thank you. Any chance that another making of video can be made now that you're in new studios? That's a good idea. I hadn't thought about that. I do have to plan ahead to do that, but yeah, I'll have to think about that. It's a bit of extra work, but if there's a week when I have the time to do the extra work, I think that's a fun idea. And I'm glad you liked the making of the ASP one. I wanted to kind of take you guys around to the other side of the camera and just kind of, see what I do. We got Busey, Walken, and Cage. Man, I'm missing a lot of the conversation. That's okay, though. You guys carry on. Oh, I haven't seen Byron. Is Byron not in? Well, I'm sorry if Byron's not in. I'll have to text him something later and say hi. Well, usually we have Byron. Agnetha says, thank you, G.I. Joe Review. Videos are very good with a lot of information, your personal thoughts and opinion, no matter how good or bad. The action figure you saw, thumbs up your videos. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I hope that everybody understands that I'm not insisting that you agree with my opinion, but I do feel it is my job as a reviewer to form an opinion, that my opinion be fair. Even if it's unfavorable, it should still be fair, and to share that opinion frankly and honestly. That's like, to me, some of the basic functions of a reviewer or a critic. So I'm trying to. I'm just doing the best I can. I may not always get it right. In fact, I may often not get it right, but I always do the best. The time constraints can often be a problem, but the time constraints are also necessary, because if I don't have the deadline, if I don't have the weekly schedule, then I don't know if I would keep up with it. I need the deadline looming to motivate me. I really need it. So, it's got a good side and it's got a bad side. The bad side is, sometimes I just can't get everything done in a week that I want to, but I just have to do the best I can and get the video done and give you, of course, the best video that I'm capable of producing that week. A lot of times what ends up getting cut or changed because of time isn't so much like the core reviews, although that happens sometimes, but like the core reviews are mostly the way that I want them, mostly. But what often gets cut is like if I think of a joke or a skit that I want to do or something like that, if there just isn't the time to do it, it may be a great idea and hilarious, and I think everybody would love it, but if I can't get it done in time, then I just can't do it. Time constraints lead to errors, like wearing a Patriots shirt. Well, it's all in your point of view. But yeah, I almost want to like go back and fix every error that I've ever made, but that's not really practical. Hey, there's Cujo. Hello, Cujo. Just saw you there. Nice to see you. What figure did I hate as a kid? Mine were everything in bright colors. Yeah, let me think. I didn't actually purchase the Cobra Law team, so I didn't actually have the Globulus figure. That would have been one. Yeah, that one, I would have had a big problem with that one. I seem to remember at the time I thought Raptor was incredibly ridiculous. So Raptor would be high on that list. I wasn't super fond of Serpentor, although I grew to accept Serpentor in the comic book series. But I never was really in love with that character or the figure. What else? I mean, what did I really hate? I mean, most of the stuff I liked. Even if I didn't love it, I still liked it because I was a G.I. Joe fan. But just there are only a few that I like actively hated. A collab, Larry Hama and HCC788, or HCC788 and Ron Rudat. I would love to do something with those guys, but I don't know that they would want to do something with me. I am the critic, after all. Crimson Entertainment says, here we go, Steelers. Hey, Steelers a great team, especially, a few years ago. They had a really good run of Super Bowls, so there's nothing wrong with the Steelers. The Steelers have historically been a really good team. So I don't do this thing that a lot of football fans do, where you have to hate every team that's not your team. Oh dear, Rezakai, the Browns. I don't know. Deepest sympathies. I can't hate the Browns. I mean, why would I? But yeah, that's pretty rough. The Browns. Hey, John Carling. Did you ever collect Micronauts? I didn't really. I had some awareness of them, but I didn't really get Micronauts. There's something about it that didn't really appeal to me. And as soon as I was old enough to like get action figures, I was like Star Wars, and then of course in around 1982, I was like G.I. Joe, and yeah, I didn't really. I don't recall getting any Micronauts, at least not that I remember. SEO Tour Review, YouTube didn't send you a reminder. The whole YouTube system is just coming down around our ears. Jason has the bottom three football teams: Patriots, Cowboys, and Ravens. That's a lot of Super Bowl rings between those teams there. We were just talking about the Browns. I think that should be in the conversation. But again, I don't hate the Browns. Why would I hate the Browns? I mean, Browns fans may hate the Browns. Favorite AFL and NFL teams. Are we going to go like back before the merger? Let's see. The Baltimore Colts. It's cool that SEO Toy Reviews. So we got Timmer here. We got SEO Toy Reviews here. We're having ourselves like a Cobra Convergence reunion. just a couple weeks after Cobra Convergence ended, so it's a little early to have a reunion, but I'm still glad you guys are here. Hello, Rodimus. I missed you coming in. Hello. Sounds like a list of... Is that a list of top or bottom figures? I don't know. Depends on it. Some people love Big Lob. I don't know. Sparkster says he used to be in contact with a Colts cheerleader. Very nice. Hey, there's Plastic Battles. Plastic Battles. All right, cool. We could just have our a mini Cobra Convergence right here, right now. We could do it right now. And Timmer says his catchphrase, hey, hey. I had this idea, and I did it a little bit when I kind of did an imitation of Timmer in the review of Leatherneck. No, not Leatherneck. It's Beachhead version, whatever. But I had this idea of doing a review where in each segment I kind of do a parody of a different YouTube toy reviewer. Like I could do FormBX257, and I could do a segment where I'm I do a Pixel Dan or and a Michael French. And I thought it could be really funny, but I didn't do it because I was thinking, all right, some of those people might not be too flattered by the imitation, so they might be upset about it. So I decided that even though it might be a hilarious idea, maybe it's not a good idea. Fishnet Beachhead. I put fishnet stockings on my head for you guys. That's what I do. Cobra Coladas on the house. And speaking of Cobra Convergence, John Carling did the artwork for my first Cobra Convergence review last year. So thank you again for that. You guys are typing too fast. Here we go. I don't even know what you guys are saying. I'm trusting that there's nothing inappropriate going on in the live chat, but I can't read that fast. Oh, here's a paragraph. Agnetha Duff, can I read that fast? How are things coming along? New Joe room. Must be great. More space. Put your collection. Everything must be much more organized. Well, it's actually a little less space than I had before, but like I said, at least everything has a home now. It's in its own space and not just borrowed space. But since it's less space, it's a little bit kind of crammed in. However, I was able to organize things a little bit better. At least the totes in the closet are much better organized. I can actually find things now. But there's still a lot to do. I mean, I'm looking at stuff you can't see because it's off screen, but there's still a lot to do, is what I'm saying. So it'll be an ongoing project, and it'll get better. SEO Toy Review says people should be good sports. I think that spoofing reviewers' idea would be funny. I think it would be funny. I think so. It just depends on if whoever is being spoofed has a sense of humor about it. I don't know. See, people could spoof me, but you just don't do it, because if you do it, I'm coming after you. Ooh, yeah. You make fun of me, I'm going to come right through this internet. I'm going to get you. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care. Good night, Carl. Photo Viper Studios looking good. Thank you. It's a little bit in disarray right now. My lights are just kind of... I had to move things around again. But I'm still really happy to have it because, again, this is my space. Not the website my space, but this is the space that is mine. So that helps a lot. It has helped a lot. And even though the last review that I did was really difficult. It was difficult because of the toy that I was reviewing mostly, but not because of the space. The space itself, the review space, is actually, I think, working out okay. Surik says, the only Cobra Commander figure I have is from the Retaliation movie. I think is an okay figure. I don't have that figure, but I thought the look of Cobra Commander in that movie was pretty good. I thought he looked more like Cobra Commander. So, yeah. Leah's gonna make a hoodie spoof channel, gotta get a fake goatee. Yeah, you go ahead. Go right ahead, and then people can comment about your beard. You know, I could easily get discouraged sometimes doing this work. I mean, you guys can decide if it's good or not. But you know, if it's okay for me to, you know, talk about myself for a moment, I do put a lot of work into these videos, and you know, whether they're good or bad, they still have a lot of work that goes into them. And so I do all of that, and I put it out there, and I get all the information I can, put all of that information in the video, and then I get comments about my beard, and just junk in the background and stuff that's not even about what the video is about. And it's like, okay. Alright, I see like a half-hour video with all this information, but the only thing that stood out was that you think my beard is funny. Yeah. Hello, Tony Jackson. You're running late. You've missed the first part of the exam, but if you'll take a pencil, you can see what you can get done before the end of class. Alex Tuttles likes my work. Thank you very much. I do try. I do try. I do make an effort. So hopefully that at least comes through, even if the videos aren't perfect. And the videos are never going to be perfect because I'm imperfect. Leah, I know you. It's Leah. If you wanted to go ahead and get a beard. I don't mind. You make a spoof channel and I'll watch it. I'll be the first subscriber. Chuckles the movie. Any thoughts? I don't know. My thought is, you said you were going to do a Snake Eyes movie. Let's do that. You know, let's do one. Do one good one. Do one good one. And then we'll go on. Then we'll move forward. Then maybe we can do a Chuckles movie. Then we can do a G.I. Joe team movie. But you've been planning on Snake Eyes. Stick with the plan. If you change the plan now, we're just never going to get anything. So stick with the plan. Do what you promised. Make that a good one. And then we'll see. But it always makes me nervous when, you know, they start planning for sequels and, you know, spin-offs and stuff like that. When you haven't laid the foundation yet. You got to lay the foundation. Don't even worry about that stuff yet. Hello, Comic Tropes. Nice to see you. Looking forward to your next review. Yeah, Snake Eyes is mute, which is why he has never appeared in any form of media. Turtle Tank, do I build custom bases for Joe or Cobras? I don't, though that does sound fun. And there are some people who make like prefab, like segmented bases and stuff that you can buy and build, and those look awesome. But I haven't done that, at least not yet. The only bearded emoji. Well, you know, just a few months till Christmas. Wait, Snake Eyes movie is going to be become a Chuckles movie. Yeah, Green Yeti. I think the Chuckles movie is supposed to be in addition to the Snake Eyes movie. But hey, we gotta walk before we run, right? We gotta walk, then you run. Delta Force, the movie would be perfect G.I. Joe Night Force movie. Comic Trope sends a $1.99 super chat. G.I. Joe Origins: Rise of Crocmaster. Hey, I'd watch it. That would be, it would be something. He does have a backstory. He has a unique and interesting backstory. Would it make a good movie? It's hard to say. No time travel. Now, I really enjoyed Endgame, all right? I was a big fan of Endgame, and so I'm again just laying the foundation, setting that out as a preface. But in general, I have a hard time with time travel in movies and TV shows. There have been a few examples where it's been done really well. Excuse me. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Back to the Future. Who isn't? But time travel gets convoluted very quickly. I am enjoying the new studio very well, Comic Tropes. Timmer says, I made a styrofoam Cobra base 20 years ago. Pictures are still online. Okay, might have to look at the pictures online. Timmer says he built a base for Cobra. Star Trek 4. Now, Star Trek 4, see that... I thought I was going to hate Star Trek 4 because of the time travel, but that's a good movie. It's a fun movie. And the thing about time travel is you really have to forget about the logic of it, because the logic never works out. I mean, the logic is never right. So if you're going into it and you're going to start nitpicking the logic of it, then you might as well just, turn in your movie ticket and walk out, because it ain't going to work. But it could still, it could still be a good movie. It could still be a fun movie. The movie could still tell a compelling story and, take you on that journey. However, most of the time travel movies are just a mess. Bill and Ted. It's technically a time travel movie. I still like Bill and Ted. Actually like both movies. But going back and looking at them, watching them again, not that long ago, they're very dated. Good Renegade. I don't know what that's about, but good Renegade. Party on, dudes. SEO Tour Review says, feel like they will barely mention the name Chuckles in the Chuckles movie, like how Marvel rarely uses goofy villain names like the Vulture. That's possible. But, as long as it's actually Chuckles and not like a not really Chuckles. Okay, let me explain what I mean. You know how a lot of people say that Predator is a lot like a G.I. Joe movie and has a lot of characters that are like G.I. Joe characters, and so you can kind of imagine it as a G.I. Joe movie, and that's fine, and Predator is a fine movie for what it is, but something like a G.I. Joe movie, for me, is not the same as a G.I. Joe movie. So if you're going to do a Chuckles movie, do a Chuckles movie, alright? If you're going to do a Snake Eyes movie, do a Snake Eyes movie with actual Snake Eyes in it. Primer is a great time travel movie. I'm not sure I'm familiar with that one. Let's see. Half the battle, 1, 2, drop the link in the base. The end of the stream, if you can put links in there. Something about links that I will drop in the stream. Dropping something in the stream. Some links. Found out in 1986 all sci-fi and fantasy did some type of time travel adventure, all happening in 1986. That's a weird coincidence. Red Dawn is a good G.I. Joe movie. There's a movie that I watched a lot as a kid. Another movie that is perhaps a bit dated, looking back at it now, but I watched it a lot on VHS. But yeah, I want a G.I. Joe movie with G.I. Joe characters. That's what I want. Not a substitute, not inspired by, but I want the real thing. I want the actual thing. That's what I want. And make it good. Just do one good one. Just do one good one. Green Yeti wants a I think that's John Wick and Snake Eyes movie. That could be cool. Street Fighter movies, almost G.I. Joe. Well, yes, see, that's almost G.I. Joe. Yeah, Now, I've never been like a Street Fighter fan. I've never really been a fan of the game. I mean, it's fine. I just never cared that much about it. I always liked Mortal Kombat a lot more. I played Mortal Kombat a lot. But I remember seeing the Street Fighter movie, the one with Jean-Claude Van Damme. I remember seeing it in the movie theater when it came out, and I remember being kind of confused by it. It confused me. Gaz, somebody, not me, posted on Joe Berg that Chuckles is going to be in Snake Eyes. I think that's where they talk about the Chuckles film. Maybe. I guess, if they put Chuckles in Snake Eyes, then it would make sense. But, you can lay that foundation, sure. But, again, just make one good movie. Is that so hard? Just make one good movie. Make one decent movie. Aliens is G.I. Joe-like in space. In fact, Aliens inspired, like, Mega Marines. But yeah, there are lots of G.I. Joe-like movies. But I don't. Give me the G.I. Joe. Look. I already got the T-shirt. Okay. I got the T-shirt. Now give me the movie. Yeah, Delta Force and what's that movie? Megaforce. Megaforce from the 80s. That's got some G.I. Joe-like elements to it. That's a hilarious movie, by the way. You should watch that. What's on Joe Mind, the podcast, if you scroll back quite a ways in their catalog, they did a viewing of that movie, and it's quite hilarious, and it's fun to watch along as they're doing it. Yeah, Megaforce with Barry Bostwick. That was... it's something. It's something to see. Robbie says regards from Mexico. Hello, Mexico from the United States. Gaz has to run. Well, good. Actually, I've got to run too. It's about 8 o'clock. I still need to do a little bit of writing for the next review. As I said, I'm struggling to get that done. So that's the rest of my evening. I need to get that done, and I actually need to set up my review space so I can start recording. So it is time for me to say good evening. Agnes says, were you into anything you liked before you got into G.I. Joe? I was very much into Star Wars. Loved Star Wars. Needed everything Star Wars. That was, before G.I. Joe, it was Star Wars and a lot of it. But yes, it is 8 o'clock now. Thanks everyone for showing up. It was really nice to see everyone. I actually feel better. I was really tired when we started, but I actually feel better after talking to you guys. So we will do it again next week, but now I have got to get back to work. So I'm going to get this video done. I'm going to do it. I will conquer it. Good night, Timmer. Good night, John Boy. Good night, everyone. I'll see you all next week, and I will push this little button here to turn this thing off. So good night. Bye-bye.